say thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. And on today's video, guys, I want us to talk about dealing with jealousy and envy. Okay, so basically, when I'm googling these two things, a lot of the times you hear people saying these two things are the same. Jealousy and envy is the same. And when I google it, jealousy, it says jealousy is it's a resentful feeling that you have towards someone's possessions, yeah, basically towards what they have, a resentful feeling that you have, that is jealousy. And then envy, then it goes on to say, it's basically having to do, I'm paraphrasing here, it's when you basically want what someone has. Let me just quickly check it out if I can. Please bear with me because I don't want to lie here. So basically it says here, feeling or showing an envious resentment of someone or their achievements, possessions, or perceived advantages. Similar, it also says feeling or showing a resentful suspicion that one's partner, okay, we don't want that, but basically showing an envious resentment of someone or their achievements. That's what it says. That's jealousy. So basically what I was saying, that it is a resentful feeling that you have towards someone's possessions or whatever achievements that the person might have. And then envy, it says a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions. All right, so when you listen to these explanations, they're kind of similar. So to me, basically the way I understand it is that jealousy is basically the feeling where you see that someone has things and whatnot, and you start feeling a bit resentful because of what they have. And then envy is basically when you take it up just a bit, you now not only being resentful, but you now want what they have. That's what envy is. So basically I want us to talk about that, dealing with jealousy and being envious. And the reason why I decided I want to talk about this, it is because I genuinely feel like in the Christian community, and I stand to be corrected in this, in the Christian community, we don't necessarily speak about these things. I don't know whether we wanna portray this perfect image and act like things are so perfect, or we are so perfect, we've got everything under control and all of that, or why is that? But I want us to talk about it, that it is normal for a person to feel that way. It is normal that you are going to feel that as a human being. And what is funny is that God is aware of these type of things. God is aware of these type of feelings, because I mean, there's so many things we can make an example of in the Bible, where God, for example, what am I saying? So many things that God speaks about in the Bible that do not do this. Like, for example, do not fear, but He is still aware that we still fear, because why? We are human beings. So same thing as jealousy and being envious. He is aware that you feel jealousy. But what I see as important to me is that after having felt the way you're feeling, after feeling jealous towards this person, after envying what they have, what do you do? What action do you take after that? What do you do after that? Because I feel what you do is the most important thing, and not what do you do in terms of like action, that you're gonna do something or what, because what you do can come in different forms. I don't know if I'm making sense, but we deal with things differently. Another person can have jealousy, and then because they're so jealous of this person and envy so much of what the other person has, then get into a deep depression, because they envy other people and all of that. Or another person can end up doing bad things that might want to hurt the other person because they are so envious, which is why I believe God advises against that, because He knows us better that, you know what, I do not want you to think this way or to have this type of behavior, because he knows that it is not good for you, you know. So I felt we should talk about these things, that guys, because these are things that we feel. These are things that we feel as human beings. To me, it seems very normal that we're gonna feel this, and as long as God is aware that I'm feeling this way, the only thing that he will probably be more concerned about is the fact that, what am I doing? Am I coming to him to speak to him about this? Which is what will bring me to the questions that I want us to talk about. That after having felt this way, first of all, you need to like ask yourself these type of questions, like, why am I feeling this way towards this person? Why am I feeling this way towards this person? Is there a problem with me? Do I have a problem with the person? Like, what makes it valid for me to feel this way towards the person? Because we know that being jealous of someone or being envious of someone will then create other, it produces other, I don't even want to call it fruits, I don't even know what to call it, but we know that when you start hating someone, or when you start feeling jealous of someone, then you end up hating the person for no reason. And you'll find that maybe it's someone famous, for example, that you see on Instagram, but now you're so jealous of this person, you're now ending up like, you end up hating the person for no reason, and which is not now good for you, because you hating someone will now be so heavy on you, which is another thing. I don't know if this happens to anyone, but I feel like when I'm jealous of someone, it's just so heavy, man. It's it's so strenuous. That's just personally how I feel. So the first question that we need to ask ourselves is, why am I feeling this way towards this person? What is happening? What is happening? What is wrong with me? What is it that I see on this person that's making me feel this way? Because another thing that we are not being honest about is that sometimes we get jealous of people because we see something on people that we actually wish it was in us, you know. Maybe I see Oprah for example, and I see Oprah as a powerful speaker. She's all of these amazing things. I mean, everyone knows Oprah Winfrey, but because she's so great at what she does, I end up because I know deep down I'm jealous of her, then I end up hating her, you know. Which means basically I see so much in her, I hate so much in what am I saying? I see so much of myself in her that I end up hating her, instead of basically asking myself, oh my god, how does she do it? You know, like basically follow her life and basically do research and find out, how does she do what she, how has she been able to accomplish so much, you know. Instead of seeking the good, then we end up going to the wrong path, and just opt to just be on the negative side of things, whereas that's not good for us. So the first question is that we need to ask ourselves, why am I feeling this way towards the person? And then the second one is also to ask yourself that, is there something that you're lacking? I know that we can never have everything in life. We can never have everything. No matter how much money a person might have, you will find that they still lack something, whether it's emotionally, mentally, I don't know. But you need to ask yourself, okay, why, since I'm feeling this way towards this person, what is it? What is it that's missing inside of me? Is there something that's missing inside of me that maybe I need to take care of, you know? And basically deal with that. And I feel these are not the things that we do. We don't ask ourselves, and it is important that we ask ourselves these type of things. And then also, are things always not going the way we want, no matter how much we try? And I know life can be tough, guys. Life can be very, very hard, and sometimes you feel like things, you know, are not going exactly the way you want. But you also need to ask yourself that, is everything really going as bad as I think? Because one thing for sure is that someone out there probably has a worse situation than yours. Someone out there wishes they were you, and you are here thinking, everything is going so bad. And I know that sometimes when hard things happen to us, when situations happen in our lives, we then end up feeling like everything is just going wrong, when in actual fact, that's not even the case. Then another one we need to also be honest about and ask ourselves is that, are you feeling this type of emotion, the jealousy and envy, just for the sake of feeling it? Because you feel that anything and everything needs to come in your direction, everything must come to you and no one else. We need to be honest about these things, because sometimes we're jealous of people not because we don't have, not because we haven't accomplished anything, not because God has not blessed us with anything, but because we feel everything good, or everything that we deem as good, should happen to us and no one else, only us. And I'm asking these questions because I'm just thinking that if you're going to take this thing to God, because this is where we should take it to Him, and just be honest with Him that, God, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling. And I'm asking these questions because I think He would want to know. If I'm coming to Him and I'm telling Him, God, I'm jealous of this person, I'm feeling this way towards this person, He would want to know. He would expect me to explain, because God is not just a God, He's our Father. So when I go to my Father and explain to Him, I'm jealous of someone, He would want me to explain, why am I feeling this way? Do I feel He's not doing enough in my life? He's not blessing me enough? He's not loving me enough for me to be jealous of someone else, for me to want things that other people have, when He has created me for me to fulfill His purpose? He has created me so that I walk my own journey. So what am I saying? What am I saying about His creation? What am I saying about Him? So that's why I feel we need to ask ourselves these questions, because it will help us to deal with what we're feeling better. There's absolutely nothing that we can't speak to God about. There's nothing. I really feel, that's why I made an example about fear, because I feel that the same way we treat things like fear, it's the same way we need to treat jealousy. Because actually, when I am fearful, I'm able to find a corner somewhere and be like, God, please help me in this moment. I am so fearful. Please help me. Or I'm able to kneel down and speak to Him, go to God, I'm so full of fear. Please help me with this. So the same way I treat that, I should treat a jealousy, and just come to God and tell Him that, God, this is how I'm feeling. Therefore, please help me. Because He will understand the feeling that I have, but He will appreciate it more when I come to Him and speak to Him about it and just be honest, even though He would probably, will definitely still be aware of what's happening within you and what's causing you to feel this way. But He will appreciate the fact that you are trusting Him and coming to Him with it. So I want to also share a story with you guys of when I experienced jealousy and it made a difference in my life. So what happened is, on one of my old videos, I did share that when I matriculated, I thought I was going to go to varsity, but that did not happen. Okay, so I ended up working instead. So with that, obviously you're working, it's nice, you're getting money and all of that. But then now it hits you when you're now seeing all the people that you went to matric with, now they've gone to varsity and all of that. So there was this person, we were friends at the time. We weren't necessarily like best friends, but we were friends. We're not like close friends, but we were friends, okay? So we were friends, and we matriculated together. The person went to varsity, I didn't. I ended up working, whatnot. So she graduates, and after having graduated, okay, great. Next thing, person gets a job and whatnot. I'm continuing to work. Life is fine. Life is good. Okay, she graduates. After having graduated, then hey, jiggy, heavy. Person buys a car now. I still don't have a car, right? Person buys a car. Great. I saw it on Facebook, because at the time Facebook was still, yeah, I'm not saying Facebook is dead, but yeah. Okay, she buys a car. I remember when I saw the picture, she uploaded picture of a car and whatnot. You know, when you have that feeling like your heart is moving from the left straight to your stomach, that's how I felt. That's how I felt on that day. But I thank the Lord, for that moment. And I don't know, I appreciate the relationship that I have with God, and I don't know. I don't even know how to put it, because I felt how I felt, and I instantly was able to recognize that what I'm feeling is jealousy. I'm jealous of this person. I wish this was me. I wish this was me buying a new car, but I cannot afford it. Yes, I've been working longer than she has, but I cannot afford it. So I immediately was able to recognize what I'm feeling is jealousy. And I thank the Lord, Wuti, I was able to see that this is not me. This is definitely not me. Then I just, I spoke to God like I was seeing him like face to face. Like, God, this is not me. Therefore, I will not allow myself to feel this way towards another person. This person has worked hard to be where she is. She deserves what she's getting. Yes, Mina, I'm not there yet, and it hurts me that I'm not there yet, but you know why I'm not there yet. So I'm not going to sit here and be jealous of another person's achievements. So I pray with whatever it is that's causing this, please deal with it. Help me to deal with whatever it is that is happening inside of me, because I'm not this type of person. So that is why I'm thankful for that moment. I did not run with the feeling that I was feeling inside, where I would end up now hating another human being for something they've worked hard for. Where I've seen, this person really worked hard for this, but here I am now being jealous of them. Why? Why? Because one thing about jealousy, it has the ability to just blind us. We end up being so blinded because you're focused over there, you're looking over there at what the other person has, what the other person is doing, what the other person is achieving, and all of that. You then miss whatever it is that is happening here. Whatever that God is doing here, you won't be able to see it because you're focused over there. You're fixated on what the other person is achieving, what they're receiving, and all of that. So even if God is doing something la, then you won't be able to see it. Because when you're looking at another person's life, they're getting this, they're getting this, they're getting that. And how is that helping me when I'm busy doing that? And also, it then makes us to now view even our blessings as like weakness. I was blessed. I had a job. That is a blessing. There's plenty of people out there who don't have jobs. That's a blessing. But somehow I felt like, yes, I'm working, but I'm not earning enough to have a car. So now I viewed my blessing as a weakness. That must have been an insult to God. That must have been an insult to him, thinking, hi, bosses. There you are, working. Somebody else out there would love to have the job you have. But when a man, you're fixated on what other people have. You want what other people have. What about your own life? How about you be present here? Because when we start focusing out there, then it means that we're not going to be present in our own lives. Hence, we then miss whatever it is that is happening. And another thing I want to mention is that there's this thing that we normally do as people, that when we feel maybe we're being a bit jealous of people, and then we then sort of like comfort ourselves and be like, she's great, congratulations and whatnot, but my challenges. Our challenges now, everyone does face challenges. We need to stop like sort of like comforting jealousy, because because I think we what am I saying? I'm dealing with jealousy by basically comforting the toxicity, because that's what I'm saying. I'm doing, rather. I'm nursing this toxicity, because when I'm saying, oh, congratulations, when I know deep down I'm jealous of this person, and to basically comfort myself, I'll then think that no, they also face challenges, their color on their lives or in their lives from time to time, so it's okay. That's not me dealing with the issue. I'm still jealous of the person, not more, but the only thing that's comforting me is the thought that they are facing challenges too, which is wrong. So all I'm saying is that when we're feeling these things, it's perfectly normal to feel this way, because we are human beings. This other day, I was watching a video from the TVN channel where Nona Jones, they were speaking about insecurity, and she said this was during or shortly after the pandemic, and she noticed on Instagram that people, because Nona Jones, she's a preacher, she's a speaker, and she says on Instagram she noticed that a lot of people that she was friends with were being invited to events, and there was this big huge event that was happening, and people were being invited there to speak, but they didn't invite her. And she was like, I kept scrolling, and so many people that I knew were being invited to speak there, and I started asking myself, but why was I not invited? And she's like, I even went as further as checking these people that they had invited, like, how many followers do they have? I mean, why didn't they invite me? Because I have this, I have that, and this is a preacher I'm talking about. Hence, I'm saying it is normal for us to feel these things, but what is important is that we go to God with it. We speak to him about it, no matter how small, because another person will be like, jealousy to God. If he didn't think it was important, he wouldn't speak about it. He wouldn't tell us to do not be envious. He wouldn't tell us that envy brings rottenness to the body, because he knows that when you're being envious, this is how this thing makes you feel. But I'm pretty much sure that he appreciates that if you feel this way, you know that you need to speak to him about it, so that he helps you to find peace. And by helping you find peace, it does not mean that it won't happen, or it will never ever happen in your life, even once you've achieved everything or your life is great. It will happen. Even when you're at a point in your life where you feel like you've achieved the most greatest things, it will still happen. But what is important is that God will give you the peace that, even if you're feeling this way, but you find comfort in him not to do any toxic things and whatnot, you will feel it and get past it and just move on with your life. So basically, that's what I wanted to talk about today, that we should learn to deal with jealousy, and we need to be honest about the questions that I mentioned in the beginning, that we need to ask ourselves questions. Why am I feeling this way towards the person? Am I lacking something? Is there something wrong with me? What is wrong? Why am I feeling this way? Instead of just succumbing to the feeling and having this thing just run your life, where you turn into a better human being that you're not supposed to be, that you're not meant to be. You know that you are better than that. Because like I mentioned, for me, guys, I feel like when you are jealous of someone, go by heavy, man. There's this heaviness that's just on your body, that's in you emotionally. Feel like heavy. For me personally, I feel like it's just heavy, which is why no, man, I'm feeling some type of way about this, I just immediately pray about it with God. Please move me away from this, because this is just not me. Therefore, I will not allow myself to go through this. So yeah, I feel like I've spoken a lot. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for your support. You must be blessed. Goodbye.